Before we start, let me add a disclaimer. My tripod was too heavy, so these are handheld shots. I'm sorry if it's shaky and makes you dizzy. Now that you've been warmed and taken a gravel, let's start. Welcome to Brussels, Belgium, the land of chocolate, beer, and Gothic architecture. This was my first adventure outside the Netherlands. I made the trip with Beza, my Canadian classmate from Ryerson.
Hey Beza, say hello. Hi. Yeah, we got here on the Euroline bus.
It only took 2.5 hours.
2 hours and 15 minutes. Cost only 29 euros, which is pretty sweet. And yeah, we're gonna try to figure out what these buildings are.
We had 36 hours to act like tourists and see as much of the city as we could. The first place we headed to was the Grand Place, the old square, located right in the city center. The square is the most important tourist attraction and most memorable landmark in Brussels. The buildings are huge and heavily decorated with gold and statues, and the square still gives a vibe of what it must have been like centuries ago. After we were done taking pictures and being tourists, we headed to see Mannequin Piece, a little fountain of a peeing boy that is the symbol of the city. Why they want their city represented by a snarky, naked peeing boy? I don't know. But large numbers of tourists gather at the fountain to take pictures with the statue. We finally got to our next destination, the Royal Palace. Beautiful and extravagant, it was hard to get the whole building in the frame without panning. From the palace, we looked up at the horizon and saw a cool dome somewhere far in the distance, so we decided we'd walk to it. We didn't know how far it was, and after walking for about 45 minutes, this is what we saw. Yeah, we still have no idea what it is either. Luckily, the Cathedral of Saint Michel and Saint Gudula was really close by, which is beautiful. It's so much Gothic architecture. Look at how many statues. By this point, we were exhausted, so we called it a night. In the morning, our first stop was the Atomium, a really cool structure that allows for a great view of the city, but it's kind of far and out of the way. It's also a lot more impressive on the outside than it is on the inside, except for these cool escalators. We then headed to the Cinquantenaire, which is a U-shaped memorial site built in 1880 to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Belgian independence. With its triumphal arch, it's really impressive. Then we walked some more, because that's what you do on trips, and made it to the headquarters of the European Union. The building had a different vibe than the rest that we had seen. It was very modern, glass walls. Everything else had been old architecture and palaces and gold, so this was quite different. It was also kind of calming because the surroundings are all green, and come on, look at those ducks. By this point, we were starved, and so we ended up in this place, which served the best baguette I have ever had in my life, and it was definitely a highlight of the trip. We then headed to the Sablon market, which is named after this church. We did some shopping, tried some chocolate, and then headed to the bus station. That was it, guys. Till next time!